we are Group Bravo. I'm Yan, and I'm going to present our achievement plan of SFO Airport. First, I will briefly talk about the convo, KPI, and gaps of our project. SFO Airport is in the airline service and in a strong competition with other airports. To improve the performance of SFO, we will analyze their customer data and report the analysis results to the CMO and the company board. To serve the satisfaction of different targets, first, we should understand how to define premium passengers and international passengers. I will talk about the definition details later. Finally, we chose international airport rank and satisfaction and customer survey as our KPIs to measure the performance of SFO. So based on 2015 survey data, we have came up with 4 framed questions. The first one is to find 3 main considerations that international passengers contemplate when choosing airport. The second one is what are the 3 to 4 most significant factors that influence customer satisfaction. The third one is what is the worst performance factor of San Francisco Airport that affects premium passengers. And lastly, we want to find out what characteristics define that someone is more likely to become a premium passenger. So how did we define the international and premium passengers? For international passengers, we use destination to classify them. When he is going to fly outside the country, we consider him as an international passenger. Then we create a binary variable and use 0 to represent international passengers and 1 to represent domestic passengers. For premium passengers, we take both the frequency and the duration of using SFO as our considerations. If someone has flown at least 3 to 6 times in the last 12 months and have been using the SFO airport for at least 1 to 5 years, then he can be considered as a premium passenger. The solution part will give you a quick look about the final results from our analysis. For the results, we found that international passengers take store, sign, and food as their main considerations for choosing airports. All passengers of SFO take walkways, screen, sign, and food as their main considerations for satisfaction. Premium passengers consider food and store as the worst performance factors. Then, according to the results, we give our corresponding recommendations, which we will talk about later. Here I'm going to talk about the process we used in the whole analysis. First, we will use multivariate to find important factors that affect ratings of SFO for different groups, and apply factor analysis and linear regression to test the accuracy. Then we will leverage descriptive analysis to obtain important insights from the survey of SFO airport. With the help of tools as logistic regression and the decision tree, we will discover what characteristics define that someone is more likely to become a premium passenger. Finally, we will conclude our business rules from all the analysis. And at the very end, we will use our metrics derived from the analysis to test 2016 survey data to see whether the metrics are applied well. So to find 3 main considerations that international passengers contemplate when choosing airport, we should filter our survey data and extract an international passenger dataset. First, we place multivariate analysis on only international passengers. We choose Q7 all as the dependent variable and the other variables in Q7 except Q7 all as independent variables. Then we use factor analysis to test our accuracy and solve the multicollinearity problems. Finally, we combine the 2 results to decide 3 main considerations as food, store, and sign. Continue on those three factors. We dig deeper and find out that less than 50% international passengers made purchases at store, also because of high pricing and short business hours and the limitation of store numbers. Also, they think signs need to be bigger to better guide them to boarding areas and gates, and adding more map also helps. What's more, over 80% international passengers think food cleanliness is above average, but need more chain brand coffee shops, more healthy menu, and lower price. And we use the same method we used in argument 1 and find the top 4 considerations for all passengers are sign, screen, walkways, and food. We also dig deeper to find ways to improve them. From the mean of factors table, we can see SFO did well on screens and walkways, but should improve signs, make them bigger, increase number of signs, and more conspicuous, like differentiating 1 and I in terminals. Moreover, food is the worst performance and most complained considerations. They want space and tables to be increased in restaurants. Also increase the diversity of food supply, make them cheaper and healthier. We also tested on gates, boarding area, peak, airlines, and terminals to find the best performance and worst performance. SFO could learn about the advantages from the best performance part and pay more attention to the bad performance part. For the framed question 3, we want to figure out what is the worst performance factor of San Francisco Airport that affects premium passengers. We still use the same method used in the argument 1 and 2 and find out 5 main considerations. They are sign, food, walkways, screens, and store. Then we calculate the average rating of these 5 factors and find the lowest one. They are store and food. For store, we find that premium passengers mind the price of store and need more shops and variety of souvenirs, so we can improve the performance of store from aspects just mentioned. For food, the average rating of the cleanliness of SFO restaurants is 4.17, which is even higher than the cleanliness of SFO all. So we can improve restaurants from some other aspects, like food varieties, price, space, service attitude, just like most comments said. And lastly, we want to find out who could be more likely to become premium passengers. First, we create a dependent variable to classify premium and non-premium and use international or domestic passengers and airlines as independent variables. Then we use decision tree and descriptive analysis and find that for premium passengers, the most used airlines are United, American, and Virgin America. They are more focused on domestic trips. Finally, we apply the nominal logistic analysis with the independent variables as age, gender, and income, and find out that the most significant factor is income to define premium passengers. So we can take income as an important consideration when doing the segmentation and targeting a potential customer. After our analysis, we can conclude that for all types of passengers, they value the store and food for the most. They all want a lower price, more diversity of food and store goods, and more shops and restaurants. For both premium passengers and international passengers, they think it would be better with more coffee chain stores. For premium passengers, they also hope the diversity of souvenirs could be increased. For all passengers of SFO, they want signages to be improved to well lead them to boarding areas. Assume that management has paid attention to our report and made some changes in 2016. We can test the 2016 survey data. For premium passengers, SFO has not made much progress, and it can still stick to the old metrics. For international passengers, SFO should update their metrics, considering screens, sign, and walkways as main factors. For all passengers, sign, walkways, screens, and food are still the top considerations of passengers in 2016, and store has become another top consideration. Food became worse in 2016 compared with the result of 2015. The average rating decreased, and customer complaints increased dramatically. So SFO really need to pay attention to our suggestion on food. So if you have any comments, send us an email, please. Thank you.